Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back. Jaime Breeze here joining us, our friend, animal communicator, spiritual advisor, psychic, medium, and animal lover for sure.
Yeah.
And Breeze mama, doggy mama. How are you?
Yeah. How's it going, Jill? You look great today.
Thank you. Trying you too. See, I didn't know if we were going to do casual today or step it up a bit. So I see you stepped it up a bit. So I stepped it up a bit. I was trying to feel your energy this morning. I'm not kidding.
Totally. I know. I was trying to do. I was laughing in my head. I was like, I wonder what Jill's gonna wear today. Yeah,
Perfect.
and I think spring has arrived in the mountains. So
I
completely
see.
different
The
weather
light,
from
your leaves behind you. Beautiful. Yeah.
completely different weather than last week. So big game changer over here.
Yep. And it makes you feel so much better. Oh, I did forget my cup of coffee though, but I got my water. So, so ladies and gentlemen, meet Jaime Breeze. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As Jill mentioned, I'm a spiritual medium, psychic, and animal communicator. I connect with those. What? Oh,
I can't believe this. I was so excited. I never made us live. I'm not kidding. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Excited again to have Jaime Breeze with us, our animal communicator, our intuitive, our psychic, our medium, our friend, and looking beautiful today, feeling very springish. I see you got the sun, you got the leaves, and there's something about that in the air. Welcome back today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back, Jill.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad we coordinated well. We decided to get a little dressy today because her and I kind of connect on a mental level each and every week. And last week we both said casual. Today we upped it a little bit. For those that may not know all you do, would you mind sharing just a little bit about yourself before we begin?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As Jill mentioned, I'm a spiritual medium, psychic, and animal communicator. My sessions are done via Zoom, so I can connect with you anywhere in the world. I do work in all time zones. So whether you're in South Africa, Nigeria, China, wherever, it's okay. We can work together. Good. And my website is jaimebreeze.com, JAIMEBREEZE.com, and on Instagram at The Mountain Medium.
And you are feeling vibrant, extra energy today, I see. So you got a little extra step, a little extra pep in your step, I think is what they say. What did you have in mind for us today? You always have great stories about those you've helped with their animals, with their loved ones on the other side, and so much more. So what do we have in store for today?
Yeah, I think it's important today, Jill. Again, I was really guided to talk about the magic of our animals and the importance of understanding their innate, deep wisdom and how this should not be ignored anymore in our society. I think that's extremely important. And for those of you who are new to the show or don't understand what animal communication is, it works on telepathy. So telepathy is our oldest form of language on this planet. But once we learn a verbal language, we kind of push it to the back burner and forget about it. But all our animals, whether domesticated, in the wild, in captivity, are telepathic. So by tuning into that resource we were innately given in our bodies, we can connect with all animals, even when the animal transitions to the other side and goes in a non-physical form. So there's a lot more depth to our animals that society doesn't see. And we have just been conditioned to, kind of treat them like always like second class or like even lower class and abuse them and use them and not experience who they truly are. And so I know my mission on earth here is to change people's perspectives on that. So working with animals, I've realized how psychic they actually are. And it was interesting. So this week, I had two different cases, Jill, both dogs from California, out of all places. So there's a lot of synchronicities there. But these animals were showing me their higher vibration. both sets of clients came to me because they wanted to make sure their dogs were comfortable in their bodies, why they have a bit of anxiety, et cetera, and how we can help them. And that's a cool thing about animal communication, is just seeing what your animal needs. You know, our animals are just like people. They have likes, needs, wants, dislikes, worries, concerns, emotions, deep emotions. And we have to honor that. So with these two dogs this weekend in two different consultations, they both have a bit of separation anxiety,
Anxiety.
you know, and which we can also relate to kind of PTSD. Our animals have post-traumatic stress disorders from how they were treated in their younger years before they found their loving forever homes, you know. And so we have to honor that. It's the exact same way as if a child is abandoned when they're young or taken through the foster care system. You know, they're going to have different emotions than, say, a child who is raised in a happy, healthy home.
Mhm.
So it's the exact same thing. And our animals suffer this type of emotion as well. And both these dogs showed me how traumatic that time is, being ripped away from their birth mother too early. And now they have these stresses and anxieties and worries. So upon connecting with these dogs, you know, they tell me what they need to help them to feel more secure, to feel that they're in their forever home, and to feel more confident going forward with life. And I love that because it gives these animals, doing this work gives these animals another opportunity to be heard. You know, they do have voices per se, but we don't hear them. And we need to start hearing our animals around us. So with these two dogs, and again, completely different families, these people don't know each other, but both dogs wanted me to understand how smart they are, how intelligent they are. And both of them wanted me to said to me, I'm very good with numbers. And I was like, okay, interesting. What does this mean? And I wanted to sit with it deeper, Jill, but upon connecting with their owners afterwards, I said this, I'm like, your dog said they're really intelligent and good with numbers. And both parents said to me, yes, I can attest to that. They can say, go get 3 toys out of the box and they'll grab 3.
Oh,
Go grab
wow.
5. They'll grab 5. Like, and both sets of parents did not teach their animals this. Is that not crazy? Like,
That is, wow. That is
Mhm.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, because our animals know everything we know.
That is so cool. And just a random question you have me thinking about. You're right. The fact that our animals are not all ripped away from their birth mothers, but all taking away, most of them are taken away from the birth mothers to go to a home to have a human mom and dad. Does that affect dogs, animals psychologically at all? Because they always think of their innate parent, or do they get over it quicker than we do? Because not all humans are ripped away from their human
Yeah.
parents, but does
Okay.
that, where
Yeah. So I was actually going to talk about that. So
I knew. No, really?
yeah, you
Okay.
totally knew. And for those of you who don't know, the first 8 to 9 weeks of a puppy's life, for example, are crucial. That is where the birth mom is teaching them hierarchy, social status, how to act in public, etc., just training the dog. And unfortunately, a lot of breeders, terrible breeders, not all, but the bad ones, we'll call them, rip the puppies away from their mom too soon because they don't want to put in the work. They want to get rid of them. They want to breed them, get rid of them, make the money. So now these people adopt this dog who was ripped away from their mom at 5-6 weeks and has a horrible time raising them. The dog pees in the house, won't stop chewing things, cries all the time, etc. It's because they were ripped away from their birth mother too soon. The
Oh,
mother didn't have those 8 to 9 weeks of necessary, crucial training. So a lot of my animal communications are done with animals who were taken too soon from their birth mom. So it's very traumatizing in that way for them. Now, once an animal, and this is from what the animals have told me, once they are in their forever home and they're happy with their new mom, their family, they don't like to dwell on past. They like to move forward and more live in the now. However, you still have traumas and stuff, right? So things you need to work through, like PTSD, emotional issues, etc., etc. But they don't want to dwell on the past. They're here in the now and they want to move forward. However, yesterday, this one dog, who is good with numbers, yeah, she showed me, did think of her birth mother, because the birth mother showed me that she was born in a very unhealthy environment, and she had a litter of 8 or 9, and she wasn't given the proper and adequate place to sleep, food, nutrients to give a proper birth to her babies, and in turn doesn't have enough milk production for her babies. So, and this is one of her babies showing me this. So this dog I was communicating with just showed me the love that his mother had for him. And whether he showed me the image or she showed me the image, I can't understand who shared it with me, was just that bond of love and her saying, I'm sorry, I love you so much. I would do anything for you. I just don't have the adequate needs to give you the nutrients that you need. And upon connecting with this dog's owner, she did confirm that the birth mother was in a horrible situation and wasn't fed, watered, etc., etc., kept in full sun, no shade, all this horrible stuff. So this dog, had an emotional connection still with his mom, because he felt there was a love there that she just really wanted to share with her puppy son and let him know how much he was loved, but she just couldn't provide for him. So that's the only case I've ever run into where they look back. But everyone else. So I sat with the dog, and when I say sit with the dog, he's in California, I'm in Canada. We're sitting together telepathically. And I'm, telling him it's okay. You can have that connection still with your birth mom, like spiritually and stuff. And she's still with you and everything. But now you're in your forever home. Your mom loves you. She wants to help you through this PTSD.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really heartfelt, Jill. And I just felt the love from this mom. And it's so sad that happens with so many animals, but not just dogs and cats, animals in captivity, they are just ripped from their families in the wild to put on display or to be tested in laboratories and whatnot. And I really want this work, to spread the word that our animals are sentient beings. They're emotional. They have the same emotions and needs as we do. So anyway, going back to this, one of the dogs telling me that he's good with numbers. He has separation anxiety. So, I said to his owner yesterday, I said he needs a concrete window of when you're leaving and when you're home. So for those of you who are listening, if you have dogs who are emotionally attached to or have separation anxiety, give them a time frame. They understand time. Say, I have to go to work. I'll be back at 5. I'll be back at 6. I'll be back at dinner time, etc., etc. Because this dog was showing me being confused. Okay, I know mom's coming home. I don't feel abandoned, but when? Is it tonight? Is it tomorrow? I don't know. And now by putting a cap on that, that window, now the dog feels more secure and in control of his situation.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Aw.
Yeah. And like when these dogs say they're good with numbers, it doesn't mean they're like sitting looking at the clock and like watching time change, but they understand our human concept of time.
Awesome.
Yeah. And there's been studies done before, like, oh, the dog always goes to the window when they know you're coming home from work, or the cat sits by her feeder when she knows it's like lunchtime or dinner time and whatever, because they understand that time of day.
That's awesome. I never
Yeah.
thought about that concept of them knowing numbers and times and see, learning more each and every week here with our mountain.
Well, I think it's cool how they know how many toys to pick out. And you see like fun videos on YouTube and stuff, like people train their dogs to like go grab them a beer from a fridge and stuff like that. They're smart. They're smart.
Aww.
And like animals, actually, I'm going to jump ahead to this, going back to the same dog. So the owner also wanted to know if her dog needed to tell her anything. And Jill, it was so funny. The dog just went, in my mind, said, calm, very loud, and like put his paws like from up in there down, like calming someone down, calm. And he's like, my mom is fine, but she is very frustrated with this individual at work right now, et cetera, et cetera. And this dog showed me something in the mother's chest and in the back of her shoulders. And so when she asked me this question, when we were going over it in our consultation, I said, okay, your dog is just saying calm. And she started laughing. She's like, yeah, I need to calm myself. And I asked her, I was like, okay, so your dog is saying this gentleman at work is frustrating you, and you're bringing it home, et cetera, et cetera. And she's like, yes. And I asked her what she did. And so she's a personal assistant. And one of her clients is this gentleman who right now is driving her kind of up the wall. So she's bringing that frustration home. And with the chest and the back of her shoulders, she pinpointed that right away. She gets anxiety from this, from her work. And when she gets anxiety, she has labored breathing and her heart's beating faster. And then for some reason, in her case, it makes the back of her shoulder blades very sore. And so the dog is picking up on this. And so the dog is saying, Mom, calm. And then the dog showed me them sitting on the couch with the gray blanket. And so I asked her about this, and she said, yes, when my dog is feeling like separation anxiety or emotional anxiety, he'll grab his blanket and go on the couch. However, in this case, the dog is showing me he wants his mom to sit on the couch. He's going to bring her his comfort blanket and sit with her and calm her down. And the other thing this dog said is he wants his mom to communicate this frustration with him at work. He wants the mom to vent to him because his energy is then going to make her calm.
Aww.
Isn't that so sweet? And this dog said, everything is okay Mom, everything is okay as long as you and I are together, because we're a team and we can take care of each other. So I thought that was so beautiful. So if anyone has frustrations at work or at family and whatnot, our dogs and animals want us to communicate this to them because they're there to help us. Mm-hmm. They're there to help us and they want to help us. And they're here for a reason. They're here to teach us unconditional love and emotion and anything else.
Just like humans, just like babies, same concept, right? We all are the little souls that come into the world. They're here to teach us.
Yeah. And there's a quote. Do you remember the movie Homeward Bound?
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
Is it about a dog looking to go home?
Oh my God. Okay. So
But
this family, it's an old Disney movie. It's like done in the 90s. And Jill,
I don't.
your
My
sons
kids
need to
would like
watch
it. Okay,
this.
okay, okay.
Yeah, have it for your movie night. So this family has
Good
to
memory.
move to across the Sierra Nevadas for a temporary move. So they put their 2 dogs and their cat at a friend's house to just babysit them. And the animals are scared that the family left them. So they have to cross the Sierra Nevada mountains to go find their family. So it's 2 dogs and a cat.
Oh
And
wow.
so in the movie, the cats, you hear the animals talking back and forth. It's kind of comical, but it's a tearjerker. I always cry watching this movie. Um, but Shadow, the wise golden retriever, and Michael J. Fox is the voice of one of the dogs. So it's very comical in a way. Like there's a goofy dog, the wise dog, and then the beautiful cat, right? Who doesn't like getting her paws dirty. So they have to help her through the wilderness and everything. But Shadow, the wise dog, says, "It's been ever since the dawn of time to watch over man, to bark when in danger, to run and play when they are happy, and to nuzzle when he's lonely. That's why they call us man's best friend." And I love that because our animals are here for us.
That's beautiful. And now you brought me into this thing. There's been stories in the news, and you're going to be like, of course, where people actually have to give their dog up for adoption, or some people, unfortunately, sometimes leave their pet and when they move, and that pet travels and finds them. You heard of
Yes,
that? Like, how do they know how
absolutely.
to, I mean, and I have a mini story, but I want to get into that. But my mini story, this is okay. So I had a cat named Precious Pumpkin who had 78 kittens, 18 litters. And so I was always giving away my kittens. And mom didn't tell us, like, birth control was good, but I stood home for every birth and I would give them away to people at the supermarket, take pictures with them. So I was like, was a cat mom. I loved my cats, right? Get older. And now I have my own cats, and I had my little princess Persian, and she had a few litters and stuff, which was great. Now, I actually had Simba, Nala, Princess. We all lived together, and my sister husband moved in with me. I moved out when she got pregnant, and then I had to take, I lived in a small apartment now, like in the city, so I couldn't take the cats. Then Princess had kittens. Long story short, she kept Simba and Nala, and they were like this black and white, really fluffy, half Persian, half domestic cats. It's actually Cuddles kids too, the Cuddles that I have now. And anyway, so Simba one day scratched their son really bad. He's 3 and he's like 13 now, so he still has a big scar here. But dad, my brother-in-law, got so angry, he took Simba and brought him or her, I forget, to dumped him off on the side of the road, which was horrible. And my sister didn't tell me. So the two of them were going to New Jersey to see their family. And they were so angry at the cat, they didn't want the cat anymore and didn't tell me. And they left it in like the woods near their house. Now, I didn't know anything. About 3 or 4 days, they were crying. They were felt so bad at what they did. They went back to the place near the dumpster in the woods where they left the cat, and she was still sitting there waiting for them. They picked her up, they brought her home, they felt horrible, then they told me the story. But I'm like, the chances of the cat being in the same spot 3 or 4 days later, like that poor cat, what it went through emotionally, but also I guess had hope and faith that they would come back, and they did.
Yeah, I probably did. That's why you waited.
Is that
Yeah.
crazy? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, but that gave me goosebumps. But like the stories about, you hear cats actually like an owner doing something like that, and then they actually find their way home, or they get lost and they find, but someone moves and they go to a new home, and then they're like traveling across states,
Yeah.
like to find their
Yeah.
original owner. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do
Yeah.
they sense that and know that?
Yeah, just because they're psychic, they have
Yeah,
an inner compass
yeah.
and they are just so wise. There's also a movie, I think it's called Red Dog, about this dog who has to go through the outback in Australia to find his family. Like, so through desert and yeah,
That's
who knows
awesome.
else what. Yeah, so our animals are very smart, and like with Simba, yeah, he probably connected psychically and knowing, ugh, they need to vent, they'll come to their realization, I'll just sit here and wait.
Who does that? And the fact that it didn't get killed, didn't do whatever, like just like amazing, because that's for indoor cat to be outside for a few days and then stay in the same spot and not be harmed or not. It was just like, just sitting there, and they felt so bad. They pulled up and the cat was just sitting there. And I didn't know any of this till after it all happened. And I flipped out, of course. But then I look at the good. I'm like, well, thank God you went back. Thank God, they were still there. But it was just like so emotional, like that poor little soul.
Yeah, I also heard like there's stories of like cats returning after like 5-6 years after being lost, and they come home like disheveled.
Yep.
But eventually they make it back. And why that happens, was that owner needing a lesson in something, like, or was the cat needing a time on their own?
Yeah.
Like every story is different, but yeah, if there's a missing animal and they can make it back, I think they can. And if you have a missing animal and listening and they're not coming back, like sometimes I've seen, because I have done some missing animal cases, is they know where their home is, but they just can't get there. Whether they're frightened and they're just hiding for now and waiting for a moment to be able to get back, or they have to teach another person a lesson right now. I worked with this missing dog who I feel is living with an elderly woman whose husband just passed. And when that elderly woman is finished her grief, the dog is going to come back home. So we'll see if that happens.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, this dog was saying like this elderly woman needs her company right now and whatnot. So, our animals have innate compass. They know, they're psychically in tuned. They always blow me away. Always blow me away.
Any other stories that you have of other clients recently that you want to share?
Well, yeah. And our animals, as I've mentioned to you before, Jill, they know their bodies and they know our bodies. So they can self-diagnose everything. And then with this dog yesterday, who was good with numbers, et cetera, showed me that he needs calcium. And I didn't know this at the time, but he had knee surgery.
Okay.
And the owner asked me, is everything okay with his knees? And his knees were fine. But what he was showing me was everything attached to his knee that needed help.
Nutrients and
stuff, because his knees are now fine, but all his bones are feeling achy and kind of like creaky a little bit. So he was saying like, I need these nutrients, I need more calcium, magnesium, et cetera. So I love it how our animals self-diagnose themselves and know what vitamins and minerals that they're lacking, and that can help. Like it goes to show you that they have knowledge that we don't give them credit for.
Like the other dog that you're working with that needs cranial sacral therapy.
He's still going to therapy. Yeah.
Cute. So darn cute.
Yeah, I sent you a picture. Did you receive it?
No.
Yeah, I think I sent you a picture of him
got
getting
a text from you last week.
No, this was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I'll make sure it went through. But yeah, he's getting his little treatments done and everything. Yeah, I sent you a couple photos.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't see, but you know what? Since I did text you this morning, I can pull up your old text. So hold on. Give me a second here. Hold on. No.
Oh,
no,
so crazy.
I see. There's my screen. Well, hold on. There's no pictures there.
Oh, so wild. Okay, I'll resend them again. Yeah, and I
first thing I have was something that's not downloaded. I sent you a video for March 21st, and then you write, "That's so cute. I love it. See you in 45." The Irish mom story, the reincarnation story.
You got the Irish mom story.
Yeah, but there's no picture.
Okay,
I'll again. Like I swear,
yeah.
like you believe me because you could telepathy wise, you must know people are lying, right? Do you? Do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm a bad judge.
No, I didn't get it,
character.
but I have it. No. Come on. Then yeah, please send it. Wow. And I forgot to take a picture at my mom's house of the clock. I wanted to send you, but I forgot. It's crazy week. The kids are off of school, of those flowers around the clock that we talked about last week too.
Yes.
So, but never got to. I will.
Yeah, I would love to see those because again, you're opening up. So you're stoking that fire. You're making it bigger. Spirit is around you. Have you received any other messages this week?
No, not at all. You know what? It was such a busy week because the kids are off of school and I had to work, and then they still had sports. Which I was shocked. Like every night they still had. Usually it's canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I didn't connect to my mom much at all this week. No, I did not. I was too much on the go. With the kids being home, it's a lot more stressful. But today, back to school. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. I love back to school days, even though I don't have children, but it just makes the environment different.
Same concept. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Good. And did you do anything fun this weekend?
I've just been working.
Okay.
Yeah, just with clients, which I love doing. I love sharing these stories. And that's the other thing, Jill, when you start tapping into the spiritual realms and the energy of our animals and spirits and everything, just your vibration gets higher. And we need that on this planet right now. We need people's vibrations to be higher. There's been so much going on, there's a lot of depression with COVID, now the war in Ukraine and anything else going around in the world that we don't hear about in the news. We need to really understand that if we can't control a bigger aspect, at least we can try and control our energies and how we feel. Everyone has these gifts and we just have to start using them and understanding them. And it's as simple as just putting it out, setting an intention. Okay, I'm ready to utilize my intuitive powers to increase my vibration, to feel better, to look better, just having that like pep in your step, you said this morning.
Yeah.
And by tapping into our innate gifts that we were born with, we can do that. So not being so stuck in this physical world of negative energies. We need to raise ourselves above it.
And the mundane of going on, just living. No, let's live. And if we want to live and to find out more about our animals and about our relatives and all you do, how do we reach out to you again? Would you mind sharing?
Yeah, JaimeBreeze.com, JaimeBreez.com. And on Instagram at The Mountain Medium. For some reason, that was really hard for me to spell today.
Okay. Well, thank you. Always a pleasure being here. I would look forward to the text of the picture, and we'll be talking soon. Okay.
Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jill. Yeah. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.